I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
Oh, I love the cool vibe today.
Oof, yeah, we have a vibe today. So anyone who's watched more than just this, our lighting is not the same
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, we had like a serious tragedy with our lighting. No, I'm just joking. The lights broke. I mean, whatever, right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Imports, probably. I don't know.
So everything. So,
I know.
What are you going to do? But whatever. You roll with it. You improvise.
We had to do what Ashley's dad calls, we had to Mickey Mouse it.
Yeah, we had a Mickey Mouse. He loves that. Yeah.
Yeah.
These Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes. Hello, Andre.
Yes.
Here's what it is.
Here's what we do.
Anyways, so welcome to Dumb Witch Club. We're off to a little, not a super bumpy start, not a super smooth start. Just
Right.
a little bumpier than smooth. But,
It's a start.
but it's a start. And you know what Mary Poppins does say?
What does she say?
Well begun is half done.
Yeah, that's right. She does say that.
So here we are.
So here we are.
Let's do a card pull. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. It's so funny because the deck that I brought, it's the Hollow Valley, of course, because, we're obsessed with the Hollow Valley. Hollow Valley deck of symbols. And yeah, and I just made an executive decision on this deck without really saying anything to Jackie.
That's fine.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I just want something simple. And this is probably the most simplistic Oracle deck that we own.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So. Yes, which I think you're right. Your executive decision ahead of this day, of this moment, yes, it is the right one.
Right?
Yes.
I couldn't handle anything else.
No.
And I don't want to.
I'm about up to here right now.
Literally.
Here.
So, no. So this is just what it's going to be, and we're just going to roll with it, and it's going to be what it is, and I'm not even going to read too much into it, so here we go. Read something into it, just,
It's kind of the point.
Don't at me. Sometimes it has to be like this.
Eclipse.
Well,
eclipse.
Well,
I've got a thought.
Let me hear your thought.
So my thought is, what do we know about eclipse season?
Okay.
It's
chaotic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's intense.
Yes.
And among other things, but during that time, we are charged to do less.
Do less. Don't manifest.
Correct.
Just let it be.
And preserve and conserve.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's exactly why I brought this deck.
Yes.
And exactly what we needed to hear. So, eclipse away.
And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're just going to let all of our prior intentions be eclipsed by whatever this energy is and this moment needs to be.
Agree. And you know what? I'm very comfortable with that.
Same. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, let's move on.
Wow. We are going to move on.
Where is that sunny, bright Gemini rising? I don't know. She's not here.
Where is Mary Poppins? I was invoking Mary Poppins.
You were. I know.
So it's, I don't know. I don't know. I really do. I feel like that card pull was helpful. But
yeah.
There is some weird energy here. And it's not like, I don't think it's coming from me. Maybe it kind of is. I'm very tired.
You are tired,
yes.
But I don't think that's what it is.
So why though? Tell me.
I don't even know if this is gonna. Okay, no, actually, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it will explain things, because we're kind of in the midst of. I feel like the new moon energy is carrying over in these moments a little bit, right? Because we're not out of that. So I feel like right now it is, right?
Yes.
So we're probably dealing with a little bit of that. We are coming up on a Neptune retrograde.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean,
that means it's probably already in its retrograde shadow.
Yeah.
It probably has been. I shouldn't say, oh, no. Well, no, I did say, oh, no.
You did say,
so that's what I should have said.
Yeah. It's okay.
This is a deep
It is.
pulling.
thing with Neptune, you know, has to be that. And I think that's sometimes why we're like,
True.
ugh, or like, you're like, oh no, because
Oh no.
it feels like, okay, this is like no hate to Neptune, except it kind of is a little bit. But like, why does it feel like Neptune has like the worst timing for things?
I feel like it's because Neptune is like under the frickin' ocean.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a damn what's happening up here.
It doesn't.
He's just like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Neptune is giving King Triton.
100%. 100%. And his crazy daughter Venus right now is all up there dancing around in Leo, like, whatever, daddy, whatever.
Daddy, I love him.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. She's like, I'm out here having hot girl summer. Don't bother me.
And he's like, I'm going to dampen all of that.
Yes, exactly.
Rude.
Oh, so rude.
I know.
So
that's coming.
Okay.
And it
that
literally,
does help.
Yeah, it helps to understand it, right?
It helps to understand this push-pull that I'm feeling.
And it's gonna, okay, so I hate to say this, but also knowledge is power, just like you said. This push-pull is gonna last for the rest of the year.
From how long?
Like literally through December of this year.
So what do we do?
Okay, but
what can we do?
Okay.
Empower me with the power of
You already have the
astrology.
power, because typically you're the one that says this to me, like you either have to match the energy, right? Or you're against the energy. And if you choose to go the other direction, that's your choice. You have that choice, right? But you do recognize that that's the energy that's present. So you have a choice. So it's giving you the choice.
Yes, you are right.
Right?
Yes.
And it's okay, because I really feel like this Neptune retrograde, I really feel like, you know, there's all these other energies, especially right now on the cusp of like this, like summer solstice and this season, everything like that, where it's forward, so much forward.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
I feel like sometimes we're not really asking ourselves the questions of, okay, are these dreams, these goals, these things we want really what we want?
Yeah.
And Neptune in retrograde forces us to look at those things and reassess them.
Okay, so let me tell you why I don't like that.
Okay.
It's because I'm an Aries rising, and I'm a Leo sun, and I'm a Leo moon, and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm doing my things.
Yeah, you're not trying to dive deeper into that water, and it keeps forcing you to do that. I know.
Okay. But you know what?
Just swim.
But also, maybe I can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. You
can.
can. Or, like you say, you don't have to.
That's right.
You're
I
gonna
also don't
feel
have
it,
to.
but-
Ooh, see, I like that energy. The Aries in me loves that energy.
You don't have to.
I don't have to.
You don't have to.
But I can if I want to.
You can if you want to, and at least you know what it is.
Okay.
So if
you hear that, people?
can just be okay with it or try to be okay with it, that's what's happening.
Yeah. And it's up to you. You do what you want. It's still okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. All right. I feel better now. I don't know.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I think that's good enough for me. Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you want more, or are you good?
I don't know. What else is there?
I mean, there's a full moon coming up. That's it.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. And I feel like it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. It's going to be a full moon in Capricorn. So, you know, we're going to have that, like, again, just sort of that, like, okay, these goals, these things you want to do they really speak to that inner Cancer intuition piece?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Do they? And, you know, if they don't, then you can change it.
Yes, and that's just sort of as a reminder, and we're going to get into this more. Full moons are always in the polarity energy of the sun. And so we're seeing that Cancer sun, Capricorn moon, kind of having their little exchange, trying to find balance, trying to figure each other out. So, okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Approach things with curiosity. It's my advice.
Or just do whatever you want.
Just do whatever you want. See what happens. Be curious about what might happen.
Amazing.
That's all I got. I mean, I don't know.
Okay,
There you go.
I think that's good. It helps somehow. I don't know.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think also we didn't even announce
I know.
this episode.
I know. We were too worried about everything. And
Which
this episode doesn't deserve that. It doesn't deserve that energy.
No, we are bringing the wrong energy to this. And by the end of it, we'll have the right energy.
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah, we always do. So, all No. But I was going to say, we don't even have to announce the episode because, like, when you click on this, you can see what the episode is. So
They're like, we already know.
I know. They're like, get to it already.
Okay. Like, what's all the rest of this?
Sorry. So, anyway, what we have in store is new sign. Who dis? Cancer.
Aww.
Yay. Oh, Cancer's so cute.
I know.
See, it's already happening. Love it.
I love it.
Oh, so before we get into like the stats and the deets, I just want to say I have very personal relationships with Cancer folks in my life.
Yeah.
Most specifically, Cancer risings.
Yes, you do. That's true.
So my 2 daughters and my sister are all Cancer risings. All very different people, very different placements in other things. But I just feel like it's very interesting.
I know. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also have a significant Cancer placement.
Oh, that's true. My Venus is in Cancer. As much as I stan Venus in Leo, my Venus is actually in Cancer.
It's a beautiful Venus placement. I love it.
No, it really is. I love it too. And I think it's like I know it is one of my very few water placements. And I'm so grateful that it's there because I feel like it's just perfect being there.
It is perfect being there. I love it.
Yes.
Yes, there are a great many Cancers whom I absolutely love. So this is very nice.
So, okay, let's start with the stats.
Okay, let's do it.
So Cancer season begins on the solstice, which is typically June 21st, runs through about July 22nd. As usual, check your dates and times and locations, etc., etc. So Cancer is bringing us cardinal, water,
Yes.
night,
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
I like want to like melt with that.
I know. I
So
know.
like water and night,
I know.
perfect. And
I
cardinal,
agree.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yes. But also I feel like the cardinal energy. So all of the cardinal signs are the ones that are the beginning of the season. So the beginning of spring, Aries, the beginning of summer, Cancer, and so on. It's really that initiating, like welcoming, ushering in. Cancer's the first water sign in the zodiac.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's just like, here's what I'm all about.
Yeah. Yes. Flowing. Abundant.
Come to me. Come to Mother.
Flowing and abundant, sort of in the way, we talked about this in another episode, and I forget which one, but I said something about like lagoon energy, like little waterfall, kind of maybe on one of the cusp episodes of What the Cusp, lagoon-ish, watery energy.
Yes. And so actually, to say, in each of these episodes, I present as a symbolic image, and the image associated with Cancer is oasis.
Oh.
Which is very much like this lagoon imagery that you like came up with.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's even more pronounced because it's like in a desert, you desperately are in need of this lush, beautiful, like water, this landscape that's produced from that. And, it's like just exactly what you need at the exact time that you need it, and it's there for you.
Yeah, that's actually like significantly different from how I was picturing it, because in my head I was picturing it like sort of in like lush kind of jungle greenery.
Yeah, which I find that still really valid.
Totally, but that's better. That's better. That's really nice. I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. What were you gonna say?
Also, the ruling planet is the moon.
Oh, that's right.
I know. I love that. I feel like it just adds even to the picture too, where you see like the oasis and it's night energy, and like the moon is just so like beautiful in that picture, and like such a contributing element to it. And
yes. Yeah, obviously, I mean, the moon is out at night, so it already, like, aligns with that nighttime energy, and the moon is what illuminates the night,
And contributes to, like, the flow of the water.
Correct, yes, that too.
That's so lovely. It's just, like, such a lovely encapsulated picture.
I love when so many, and this happens in different ways in a lot of the signs, that the energies are represented by like all these different elements.
Yeah.
But then they all like pull together to this unit, this kind of what the sign itself ends up being. It's so lovely.
It is, which is like deeper and more complex, you know.
Yes.
And especially with Cancer, so I feel like that's par for the course with this sign.
So I think people know, a lot of people know that the Cancer is represented by a crab.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and this really goes with what you were just saying about the moon and the night and all of that type of, you know, feeling that energy. The Cancer constellation in the sky is actually the faintest of all the constellations.
Oh, how fascinating.
Which I'm like, she's just barely there. She's like super delicate. She's obviously, you can find her. She's been there forever. But she's just barely there. She's like, I'm right here.
Not trying to like overshine or outshine anyone.
No.
Just like doing what she's meant to do.
Exactly.
How
So that was a neat little, I was going to say factoid, but I hate the word factoid and I will not say it. So don't make me.
I don't even know where that word comes from. And
Nowhere.
I kind of don't want to know. Yeah,
Zip,
we're not
never
gonna
saying that word.
After now.
Starting
now. Starting now. That's great.
So also Cancer is the nurturer.
Yes, that's such the vibe.
And the statement is, I feel.
Yep. That just all matches. It's one of those ones where the energies just all kind of like make sense. There's nothing that sticks out that's like, oh, but that doesn't really go. Like, the only part about it you would say that would be the fact that the mode is cardinal, but it still makes sense.
It makes sense to me, not in that like way that Aries is cardinal and that like punching spark of initiation. It's more like this, for me, the Cancer is like, welcome in.
Yes.
You are invited. I am here. You are here. Like, let us begin.
Yes.
You know, it's this lovely, like...
Yeah, like a flow, I just think of like abundance. Like, it makes me want to do this. I think I've done this.
I know. I feel like I've been doing this also. We're just doing
a lot.
All of this.
Very demonstrative.
Yes.
Cancer.
So I also like to point out the astrological wheel is like a life cycle. So when we get to Cancer, which is the fourth sign of the zodiac, we are up to about the 20s.
Okay.
Like age, 21 to 22 up to like 28, 29. So
prime
time, youthful. It's energetic, but I feel like you're also starting to settle into being an adult. A lot of times folks are settling into relationships or family structures, family of choice, whatever that may be, and kind of establishing themselves in a sort of community and like functionally oriented, you know, kind of home.
Absolutely.
And then that makes perfect sense with this energy.
Yeah, and having, like defining like your space and like what makes you comfortable, but also providing that for everyone else who's sort of connected to you and who you've, like Jackie said, like who you've chosen to be kind of connected to you. It's that like rooted, right?
Yes,
energy.
You're starting to like, put down roots and really sort of be that for yourself too. In a way of when you're a child, you're sort of in the home that is provided to you, but now you're starting to make that for yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so lovely.
Yes, I like it too.
Well, there's some stereotypes with Cancer too.
Yeah.
It's not like a super hated on sign.
It's, no. Right? I would say it's not a hated on as in Gemini and Scorpio. People are like, ugh. I feel like Cancer is hated on. People are like, oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're emotional. You cry all the time.
Yeah, totally.
Crybaby.
Crybaby is what you hear the absolute most.
Yeah, sensitive. Like these things are insults.
Yeah, you know? Like sensitive in a really derogatory way.
Yes.
Like really rude. I know. Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. Okay, I think I know. Well, I know why that is associated with Cancer, and it's where that comes in. Where like, okay, there's some truths to things, right? Yes, they are emotional and sensitive. These things are true, but when they're used in that way against them, it's because the people that are using these terms that way are being socialized in societies that are teaching that those things are bad. And so then they are putting a negative, a pejorative connotation on those things.
Right.
And then saying it to them as if it's something that they should be ashamed of.
Right.
And these people are very not self-actualized and are actually afraid of emotion.
Yes.
And that's why they can't handle it when Cancers are very in touch with their own.
Exactly. That is exactly right. It is yet again, and I feel like all the signs that get hated on for whatever reasons, that's the case. It's the people who haven't evolved themselves to where they can stand next to that kind of energy.
Yeah.
That criticize that energy or put it down or whatever.
Especially because traditionally, Cancer's associated with a lot of feminine energy.
Yes, it's like that quintessential mother energy, you know?
So if there's a masculine presenting person, identifying person who is demonstrating and showing and owning, right, the way that they are within this Cancer energy, that's even more reason for people to put that down and stereotype that.
And then when people who are socialized female or identify as female act in these ways, it's also looked down on because, you're just, you're being, girly, or you're, of course, typical woman. These are the kinds of crap that we hear people saying.
I know. And that, just you hear it like certain signs that are embodying these beautiful, wonderful energies that we need. And frankly, all of us can learn from because these energies are present in all of us, whether you're Cancer, Sun, or a significant placement or not.
Yep.
It's in you somewhere. When that's happening, like this is what you get. This is what you get, which is super unfortunate because that's not at all what's going on. I feel like Cancers are extremely brave people with their display of their emotional selves.
Yes, which they have to be brave to be that in this world, So, and I don't think they get credit for that at all.
Hell no, they don't get credit for that. No way.
So no, of course, and like we say, that's like the stereotype has somewhat of a basis in this energy. When we see a skillful version of someone that's a Cancer or using Cancer energy, it is maternal, it is gentle, it is sensitive, receptive, it's retentive. They hold they'll hold you, emotionally, or physically sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But then when we see that unskillfully, I think that's also where we can see the stereotypes coming in of the unskillful Cancer energy is going to be, overprotective sometimes. It's going to be non-trusting, insecure, overly sensitive, as in they're not able to regulate their own experience of emotion with themselves, which can be a huge learning task if you are a Cancer.
Yeah, in the unbalanced iterations, it sort of reminds me of like an insecure codependent mom.
Well, yeah, like your helicopter parent or your, mommy dearest.
Yeah,
right?
like a martyred mom.
Yeah.
Like, I do all these things, but no one listens to me, and I just keep giving and giving, and they really will, like, just keep giving and giving and giving, because they're extremely generous people with everything that they are and have, and just everything, physically, emotionally, all of it. But, the unskillful presentation of that is to just keep pouring out and not being replenished, but then acting put upon about that. And then, Cancers, I feel like, they just want what's best for everyone. I feel like they're like that mom friend that, like, they just want to make sure everyone's okay and everyone has an Uber and, like, that they had a liquid IV and, like, that they're good. And some people really, like, they, for their own reasons, can't handle, like, that kind of thing. And most Cancers, I feel like, if they're well balanced, like, can just kind of respect that person's autonomy and be like, they don't, like, really want that for me. But an unskillful one will just smother, and that person's like, stop.
Yes, no, 100%. And I think that's where you start to get sort of advice for cancers
Yeah.
or places where cancers might need to work on themselves.
Sure.
Is to not just pour yourself into caring for other people.
Yeah.
But to, well, one, respect other people's autonomy, like you're sort of saying, Ashley,
Yeah.
but also respect your own needs.
Yeah.
And speak up for what those are too.
Yeah.
Because you can build this resentment when you're caring for other people.
Totally.
And then this resentment of, well, nobody's caring for me. And it's like, well, have you let anyone know what you need?
Right.
Have you focused on yourself enough to know what you need?
Yeah.
And you have to do that.
You have to do that. And when Jackie says like you have to do that, it might not be something, if you are a Cancer, like it might not be something that you really have to tell yourself that, like, I have to do this.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you said that too, because I feel like it is highlighting the difference with Cancer for me in terms of comparing it to the other water signs too.
Yes.
Like, Cancers very much like they will just like do that, but then when they get hurt or feel misunderstood or just feel uncomfortable or whatever, they're like so empathetic in that way. They are that like crab, and they will retreat back into that shell, and then it's like you can't even get there with them anymore.
Yes.
They're just like not there. They're inside.
Totally. And I think what you have in that case, is a really hurt person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who has now like kind of stopped wanting to give and stopped wanting to shine out that beautiful Cancer energy.
I know.
Which is really sad.
I know. And
so also, if you have Cancers in your life, like, don't do that to them.
Yeah, it's tough to see. And like sometimes they do it to themselves.
True.
Sometimes they do.
True.
And I feel like I was just thinking about like the crab. Okay, I'm not a scientist, so don't like hold me to these terms.
I thought you were a scientist, Ashley.
Maybe don't I come across as a scientist? Think clearly. What, like it's hard? Yeah, no, not.
Anyways.
But I was thinking like crab. Is that an exoskeleton? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
It
Okay.
is. It is. Yes, it is.
And then what about a scorpion? Is that an Okay,
Yes.
so they're both exoskeletons.
Yes,
They just live in different environments.
100%.
So I know things. Okay.
She's a scientist.
I'm a scientist, officially. Scientist. I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how different, though, that is. Even though those are the same and they're both water signs, how different that is. Like, being a Scorpio, like, you do that to a Scorpio, we sting the crap out of you. And then we might scurry and, like, hide a little bit. Like, okay, don't hurt us anymore. We're done with you. But, like, we're going to fight back. Like, we're going to sting you, and it's going to be really bad and probably deadly and really brutal, right? But, like, we're not, like, hiding necessarily in that initial response, right?
Yeah. And
Whereas,
so the contrast.
Right. Whereas with Cancer, I feel like it very much is sort of just like a retreat into that shell.
Yes, and I feel like crabs have these big old claws, but they are not pinching anything or anyone,
No, not really.
Not really. I mean, eventually suppose
probably,
they can. But
I guess they do sometimes.
No, but you're right. Like, and I think when we're looking at signs and we're knowing like these are water signs, we can find the similarities, and it's really interesting to also have those contrasting comparisons, because it really does show the uniqueness like of this Cancer energy compared to other water energies and stuff.
And like you said, what you see there is a really hurt person, right? And I feel like that's really what happens, whereas like with Scorpio, I don't feel like it's as like sensitive or hurt.
Well,
it's
yes,
different.
Totally. And I think so. Let's see. What the other thing I was going to say is, yes, you want, if you are a Cancer, or if you know Cancers or Cancer risings or whatever in your life, you want to honor and respect their sensitivity, but you also don't want to walk on eggshells around them or treat them like a baby, like they can't handle anything. Because I feel like that's sort of another side of how some of this can get twisted up.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like, oh, they can't handle anything, or you don't tell them anything because they're just going to get upset.
Right.
So we just have to be careful, like, all people are whole people.
Absolutely.
And deserve to be treated with respect. And I feel like this kind of goes back to the age timeline thing of like people in their 20s don't always get the respect they deserve. They're maybe new in their career, or they're just starting out. And a lot of times people want to dismiss them like, oh, you don't know anything yet. And as much as it can be really cool and sweet to still be able to hold on to some naivete, you don't want to be disregarded because you're young or you're
Totally.
sensitive or whatever.
Absolutely. And I think it's also, and when I'm saying this is something that I need to be aware of too. I think it's okay, if that happens or something makes, if you're interacting with a Cancer and it makes them uncomfortable and they do kind of retreat, it's okay to hold space for them the way that they hold space for others and let them be in that shell for however long they need to be to kind of process whatever just happened. You don't have to pry it open. You don't have to go in there after them. Just they have the tools. They're very emotionally regulated. They're very aware. They're very comfortable with being in there. Other signs are not as comfortable being inside there. They are. And they will figure it out and then they'll come out when they're ready to. And I think trying to meet them with as much unconditional positive regard as you can is really helpful because when they do come out, I feel like that's what they want,
Yes. And I feel like within that, there's another little nugget for someone who might be a Cancer.
Yeah.
Is other people, let them have their reactions too.
Yeah.
You don't have to go fix those and solve those and take care of whatever those are for other people either.
It's very true. You don't always have to parent them.
No, exactly. So I do want to get into a couple of famous folks' examples of Cancer energy.
Lay it on me.
So I feel like I have two in particular that I feel like are really good. So one of them is everyone, if I may just say, everyone in America's favorite actor, Tom Hanks.
Oh,
Tom Hanks.
cute. Yes,
Right?
I see it.
Can't you see it?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Aww.
And I don't know. I mean, obviously the roles that people play are not who they are.
Sure.
And there's a wide variety of roles that actors play.
Yeah.
But if you think of his quintessential roles.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we just see this Cancer energy coming through. There's a sweetness. There's an unassumingness.
Yes.
When we also just think of Tom Hanks's character as an actual person from what you see, of a famous person.
Sure.
But I think he's very unassuming. Yeah. He seems very grounded in himself, secure in himself, which is a really well-evolved Cancer.
Yes, and okay with being a softer man.
Correct. Yes.
Because he was even in the era of the Harrison Fords and the, sort of whatever, these action kind of tough guy things, and he was never that.
I'm afraid that Harrison Ford is also a Cancer.
Oh, he might be, but I still can actually see that. I just used him as an example because
No, you're talking about Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
You're not actually talking about Harrison
Not
Ford.
talking about Harrison Ford. Yeah, I'm
Right.
talking about 90s action movies. I don't know.
Right?
That's what pops into my head.
Yes, but if you watch some other things that Harrison Ford is in, he does, he has the same thing. And I'm
love him.
99% sure he's also a Cancer. I didn't write him down, but I just was looking at the list. I'm pretty sure he is.
But yeah, I appreciate Tom Hanks for that, embracing being sort of that softer. He was in rom-coms and stuff. I mean, people could make fun of that.
Well, yes. I mean, bosom buddies. Look it up, people. Okay.
So cute.
So good.
I love him.
Okay, so moving on to the next example that I have, Princess Diana. R.I.P.
That makes me want to cry.
Yes, but I feel like she is just was the embodiment of a generous, caring mother to everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Extended herself way too much, was forced by, I don't know, the royal family, let's say, into some role that was so overwhelming for her. She strove to meet their expectations, to keep everyone happy. Mm-hmm. I think she suffered because of that. Mm-hmm. And she was just such a beautiful soul. And I think everybody can see that Cancer energy in her.
You know what I just thought of too? Her name is Diana.
Yes, which is the moon.
Goddess of the moon.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is true. I didn't realize.
That aligns so lovely and nice. I don't know if that was planned by her family or not, but that's lovely.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love that too. Mm-hmm. So, and then the last one I just have to mention because it's a personal favorite of mine, which is George Michael.
Rest in peace as well.
Rest in peace as well. Just such a caring feeling, masculine, feminine mixing energies, human, and so emotional. I mean, a lot of musicians, a lot of music is emotional.
Yeah.
But George Michael is emotional in a way that I feel like was very touching, like on a purely sensitive level.
Yes, and just all kinds of different emotions when you listen to his music. Like, it really takes you kind of on that roller coaster of emotions, but like anywhere you are on it, that's exactly where you want to be.
Yes, exactly. And you don't know where you're going to end up, but you're like, I'm going to go, take me there.
And you feel held by him in those moments.
100%. Because you're not alone.
You're not, because he really makes you feel like he is leading that and that you belong there, and he's, I love that. Wow.
Yes. So, of course, there are many other prominent Cancers, but these were the ones that I really felt when I saw the names. I was like, yes.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love it.
Okay, so now I know what it's time for.
It is time.
It is time
for the social media application. It's not really an application, but
whatever. It's time for it.
Cancer.
Lay it on me.
Cancer is LiveJournal. Do we remember what LiveJournal is? We might not remember what LiveJournal is. Perhaps you are too young to know what LiveJournal is.
Some of them are too young.
Some of them are too young. Or maybe just not in the generation. Anyways, I will break it down a little bit. So, LiveJournal...
It's really good, by the way. Give it a chance. Listen.
LiveJournal was this like online journal, this online platform that was kind of like a blog, but not really. It was different from like a public blog. It was very popular in the early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s. It was kind of similar to like a Tumblr, which I know a lot of people know because that got like popular again, but like in words. So like not images, like whereas Tumblr's images, LiveJournal's like that version, but words. It was a place for you to literally journal online. You could be as public or as private as you wanted to be. In fact, there was a lot of sort of mechanisms in place where you could control exactly who saw your posts, who interacted with them, who could comment on them. You could actually make it 100% private if you didn't want anyone to see it. But you could have like pieces available.
I was going to say you could even choose like different. It wasn't just like, oh, your entire account was private or your entire account was public.
Yes.
It was like each thing you could select, like who would.
You could.
Right?
Yeah, sort of like if you know like MySpace, like your top friends or whatever, it functioned a little similarly where like it could be groups of friends that saw certain posts and other groups of friends that saw other posts.
Right.
And then you could interact with them at some point. That sort of became a thing. So you could like start a feed and like interact with people. And like what would happen too is that you would cultivate your own feed based on your friends' live journals. So that would come up on a feed that you could see. So you could keep in touch with your friends and, manage your own thing. But, the Cancer, like, essence, right, is to, obviously, to emote, right, to express, to connect, to support. I would say even to, like, preserve and archive in a way.
I think that's very true with Cancer energy, and we didn't really mention that anywhere before. But yes, it's like the archivist of the home,
Yes.
If you think about like the mother to being the photo albums and just sort of that stereotypical mother, like chronicling her child's upbringing and, yes.
And that's kind of what LiveJournal was these snapshots of these moments in your life and the emotions that you were feeling in these specific times and the things your friends, were feeling in these specific times. And particularly, like, it was a community for people with, like, marginalized identities and stuff as well.
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome, and you're here and, kind of nurtured in this space. And it grew into more of, like, a fan fiction thing, and I think that that's kind of how it exists now. But even then, like, that's, like, unbelievably creative and wonderful and nurtures those stories that are so important to people that they really emotionally, like, tie themselves to and feel strongly about. And you could, vent but be inclusive and sort of have that nostalgia and everything. And I just really feel like it's the essence of Cancer.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah, kind of like wish live journal was still like a thing like that. But
Yeah. We
that's
can
all right.
bring it back, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Single-handedly.
Maybe
double-handedly.
a Cancer can do that for us.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, I think I loved this Cancer episode. I feel like very calm and very like loving right now.
I love that.
And I love you.
Oh,
and
I
I love
you.
Dumb Witch Club. Anyways, okay.
So much love.
That's because we love everyone in all signs.
Yes, we do.
Or at least we don't not love you because of your sign.
Mm-hmm. Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner.
And Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer. Creative Director and Culture Consultant Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.